So we just got the release of The Little Things starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto in theaters and on HBO Max, and it left me with some big questions.
You knew him, didn't you? Then you had that one little feeling. But you waved it away. You should have listened to that one little feeling.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandon and this is Film Flare, where we discuss anything and everything that makes film and television great. So be sure to subscribe and let's talk about an intriguing movie. Now, this movie is about a small town deputy who becomes embroiled in the search for a serial killer after a routine evidence collection trip to the big city. Denzel Washington has perfected the quiet intensity of a man haunted by criminals. In this one, he plays Joe Deacon, the big city cop who moved to a small town after blowing up his life over a big case years ago. And then on a random trip back to the city, he gets drawn back into that very same case after visiting a crime scene that's all too familiar for him. He's supposed to be our main hero in the story, and this movie is set up as his redemption arc. His chance to finally solve that one case that's haunted him for all these years and ruined his life. But the more we see of him, the less sure we are of whether he's the good guy or not. The movie introduces us to a bunch of little pieces of his life that cast suspicion on his past, from his family to his job. And by the end of it, it's very unclear as to which side of the line he stands on. Rami Malek plays Jim Baxter, the hotshot detective who teams up with Joe to solve this case. Now, he's said to be the best in the city, but the movie never gives the audience any real reason to believe that. And while he appears to dislike Denzel's character when they first meet, giving him the cold shoulder, for some reason he immediately chooses to partner with him without any hesitation, reservation, or any real reason to do so. And by doing so, we get to watch him descend down the same path as Joe as he starts to let this case get further and further out of hand. While both Denzel and Rami were good in their respective roles, there just wasn't any chemistry between their two characters. And seeing as that's kind of important when making a type of buddy cop movie, this one just feels off from the start. Then there's Jared Leto as our serial killer. Aside from him not saying much, he pretty much nails the quiet, solitary killer type. I do wish there was more for him to do in this one besides just looking crazy, although I would find it hard to take him seriously with that beer belly and awkward walk. This movie had some absolutely fantastic actors who unfortunately simply weren't given a lot to work with. All three of the lead actors in this one were Oscar winners, but even they weren't able to salvage the story, which is a shame because this movie really did have a lot of potential at the start. This film was both written and directed by John Lee Hancock, and while I did like his directing of the film, it was the writing where the story struggled. Hancock has a handful of writing credits under his belt, most notably The Blind Side, but considering how that movie was based on an already established book, he doesn't really have a lot of experience writing feature-length films, and that inexperience really shows in this one. The pacing was slow and drawn out, but it did feel like that it was leading somewhere through the first and second act. Although the second slowed down much more than the first and had me wondering when it would pick back up. But it was the final act of this film where the story really goes off the rails. It felt like the story knew where it wanted to end, but wasn't quite sure how it was going to get there. And the end result is a bunch of unrealistic decisions and actions that don't really line up with what we know about these characters. I really wanted to like this movie going into it. The trailer sold it really well as this dark, gritty cat and mouse murder mystery, and the story really did start off interesting, from the opening chase scene to the detectives meeting. But it felt like the more I watched, the less straightforward everything seemed, and then it just kind of fell flat. Now, while I am 99% sure that Jared Leto was the killer, the film never goes so far as to actually confirm it, and the ending only introduces more doubt into the audience's mind. Not to mention a whole bunch more questions surrounding Joe Deacon. Is he a bad cop with a twisted view on justice? Or is he really just a man who's made a couple mistakes in his past and is sincerely trying to atone for them? Either way, let me know what you guys think about The Little Things in the comments below. And please do be sure to give this a like and subscribe for more reviews like this. We've got new content coming out every week. But until next time, have a great day and don't forget to watch a great movie. Bye.
It's the little things that rip you apart. It's the little things that get you caught.